Hello and welcome to the Season 25 ISFL Draft. I am the resident button clicker J-Patch, and with me I have a wonderful slew of hosts.
I am host number 1. You know me. Some of you love me. I am Bex. I am the ISFL Commissioner, here to help welcome our new class of ISFL draftees.
Yes, I am GM. I'm Frostbite, the Sarasota Sailfish GM. We have 12 overall in this draft, and I'm excited to announce them.
I'm Gucci. I'm the Honolulu GM. I'm doing this for the first time, so we'll see how it goes.
I'm Laser. I'm the Orange County Otters GM, and we picked one ahead of the Sailfish.
I'm P-Money. I'm the Yellowknife GM. I'm really excited to get this draft going because it's a great draft class.
And I'm Soup. I'm the Philly GM, and you're going to be hearing me again soon because we pick very early at 3rd overall.
Very good. Alrighty, so yeah, we are very excited to be here. This is our first time doing a draft with 14 picks per round because we have our new expansion teams. Some general rules. You draft in the order that's given. Second round is where the GM picks are, so they're GMs of teams. They get auto-drafted in the second round. And that's about those are the big things to keep in mind. So with that, we will go ahead and get started here with the first pick of the Season 25 draft. To the Berlin Fire Salamanders, they will select SWANTAVIUS Jones. I think this is a tremendous pick. I love Swanty so much. He's been a cornerstone of our budget team, and I adore everything about him.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff, and I think that after we realized that High, former London GM, had 1 overall, I think it should have been pretty clear that they were going to take Swanty here. Also, a pretty top-tier render.
Yeah,
I've got
absolutely.
a pretty good Swantavius Jones story. So in Honolulu, we forgot to update his TPE, and we couldn't figure out why at all on our draft board that somebody at that low of TPE would go 1st overall. It was a pretty ridiculous moment, but everything I've heard about him has been great. So congrats,
He's amazing.
Berlin.
he was also the DSFL most dedicated member this season, so it's not surprising that he went 1st overall. Woohoo.
Indeed. Alrighty, let's hop in here with pick 2.
Right, with the 2nd overall pick in the Season 25 draft, we select Dan Foster, Arcs from Portland. Now, there were so many great prospects in this draft. We had probably a dozen guys that we wanted to take with this pick, but Arcs just really stood out to us. He's just an all-round presence. He's got the semi ability, locker room, he really impresses in our scouting. So, yeah, we needed a cornerback. So, yeah, we've got one for the future.
Yeah, I think this is a good pick. He's a really good guy.
Arcs is awesome. I just hired him for the updater job, and I was talking to Fly about trying to trade up for this pick, and he said they were taking Arcs, and I was like, oh, well, there goes that.
Makes sense. Alrighty.
All right. With the 3rd overall pick, Philly decided it was Taco Tuesday and took Tex Rex D end out of Tijuana. I love the guy. I think that he might even be the best D lineman in this draft. And I just had a wonderful conversation with him as well. And so he's very active in the locker room and an amazing earner with the 275 TPE. And so we just went and grabbed Tacos here.
He's amazing. He's another one. I think I'm going to say that about 18 million times this draft, but like Tacos is phenomenal. I have yet to try his taco recipe, but I do have it, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I know Tacos from PB. He's just a fantastic user in general.
It'd be illegal to play 209 tacos instead of just 1 player on the field there, though.
Alrighty. Let's hop in here at pick number 4 for our Ultimus champions, the San Jose Sabercats. They will be selecting RAYLAN Crowder, user Asked Madden.
Yeah, so this guy I was really considering at 12 overall because he had one of the better scouting conversations that I had with any of the prospects. So I think definitely the conversation they had with him would have influenced this pick.
Yeah, Madden's great. I know him from the Dallas locker room, and he's a leader over there. He's got 3 friends in the league. They're all very active, and I know he's up late in Scotland watching this right now. So, congrats.
Absolutely. Oh, I forget that there are so many new European users in this draft class. Very exciting stuff. All right, this will bring us to pick number 5 for the Colorado Yeti. They will be selecting Albert Rushman of the London Royals.
Let's go!
According to Sill, this was by far and away their number 1 prospect in the class. Someone that Sill's had the pleasure to kind of see grow in London. And they were very committed to him, made offers on 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th picks to be able to get him, but are very happy to be able to grab him at 5th overall, and we'll be adding him to the defensive line.
Yeah, Katarn is great. He's one of
awesome.
our definitely probably our top defensive end prospect this class, and he was pretty sure he's willing to swap. And I think there was an article that recently came out that said the nicest people in the league, and it was him, it's Katarn, Tesla, and I think someone else that I'm not remembering. But he's just such an awesome guy.
Yeah, Katarn in real life lives about 15 minutes away from me, and he insists after the pandemic that we will go and get a slice of pizza because he's a big pizza man, if you were curious.
That's amazing. I hope that happens because that'll be a fun time. All right, that'll bring us to 6 for the Baltimore Hawks. They will be selecting Felix Arkstone, user Glims TC. Glims is a DSFL GM now. It's always a good thing to have on the team. And from Star, yeah, they really, really liked him. And they're enthusiastic to have him join their waifu QB.
What a horrible render.
Yeah, I've seen glimpses about in Kansas City locker room, and he's just a really great GM, really great guy, and I think he got a really good pick here.
I see someone making a comment about O-line in round 1. Hell yeah, it's the era of O-line. Of course, we have O-line in the first round.
The fairest of rubs.
Very good.
I think once I saw that Butters was their GM, I was fairly certain that Glims was going to go there.
Yeah.
Much
Kansas
pick the
City.
predecessor and trust him a lot. So
For sure. Alrighty, that'll move us on to 7. Gucci, take it away.
Okay, for the 7th pick, we took linebacker Guy Fields. We know him from Dallas. He does it all over there. He's just redesigned his 2nd logo for the league. I know he's got. I think he just took his 3rd job today, so he's already starting to build a huge bank account, and he's a very important member in the league. What he adds to the locker room is pretty much unparalleled. So we're super excited to have gotten him at 7. We didn't think we had a chance at this.
yeah, for the mock draft, he was the guy that was mostly projected to go 1 overall.
He's amazing. He's working for the sim team now as well, and getting to interact with him has been an absolute treat.
Also, it's a cute dog.
Very
The
cute dog.
cutest dog. It is very cute. Very good. Alrighty. Move on here to pick 8 then. For Arizona, they're going to be taking Tayshawn Crunk, user Crunk.
Crunk's a player that I've seen in London a lot, and he's also done a media series with the power rankings, which are super cool, and he does sim tests after all the weeks to get those ratings. Meaning that he's a very good sim tester, and he's also a really good locker room presence. And I think he was on the award stream twice and missed winning an award by 1 vote, so he also has a good deal of sim luck.
Well, hopefully that luck can transfer over in his time in Arizona. Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to pick 9 for the Chicago Butchers. They will be selecting James Gath, user BeefStew409.
Top tier render.
I don't know Beef Stew particularly well. I've not seen them around, but I know that I feel like Bailey has such a good eye for people who are going to fit into the culture over in Chicago. So I have to assume that this is a perfect pick for them.
Stu was Minnesota's. He was his second overall pick in the DSFL, and he has done some super cool stuff with the sim, including he made a really easy to use app for sim testing, as well as he made a mock draft simulator, which is super cool.
Oh, was that him? That was
that was him.
Very cool.
Semi accurate.
Yeah, the tools he's been making have been extremely cool, and I knew he'd be a first round pick somewhere. And Bailey has a great eye for talent, so I'm not surprised by that at all.
Absolutely. All right, let's go on here to pick 10 for the New Orleans second line. We are going to be selecting Medicinal Toblerone. This should shock no one who's been paying attention. Jiwosu is a former GM for us, one of our cultural staples on the team. We had to kick her out of the war room, and we've missed her every single day since then. So we are very glad to be drafting her again and being able to continue to have her amazing presence on our team.
I just want to say another top tier render here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Actually, I believe that 209 Tacos actually made that, if I'm not mistaken.
That sure is a possibility. But yeah. I love Jiwosu, so I'm very glad that we're going
also
to
worth
continue to have
pointing
her.
out this is the second OL in the second round.
Yes.
Or first round, rather.
Although he is pretty sure she's swapping.
She will not stay O-line, I'm fairly certain. But
Oh no, I don't expect it. But
yep. All right.
anyway, on to our pick, the Orange County Otters with the 11th pick. Select Goat Tank. Finally.
We've been waiting for it.
We tried to trade up to 1 to get him. We tried to trade up to 2 to get him. We tried to trade up to 3, 4, 5, 6, up to about 7th. And then at that point, we figured he might actually fall to us. And the fact that he did fall to us is still just, I can't believe that we actually were able to pick him up, because not only does he have experience with the sim, he's also one of, I think there's a lot of rookies this class that are very dedicated to the league, but I think that the stuff that he's put out has been really awesome to see. We're excited to have him join us in Orange County.
I have no clue how he fell this far.
I really don't.
I know
I was
of
expecting him
Goat
gone
Tank
by
from
6 at the
PvE,
latest.
and he has been a great prospect this year. I was shocked to see him at 11, and I think it's a really good pickup by OCI.
I was hoping he'd fall one more, but I knew he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's move on here.
That's me. Sarasota with the 12th overall pick. We choose Peter Patterson, SLATE from Kansas City. This was similar to Goat Tank. I really don't know how he fell this far, but I'm not going to complain. SLATE is I think he's been described as the third GM in Kansas City. And to get him at 12th overall at a position of need is something that I'm super happy with.
Slate's just a funny guy. And every time I see him around the forums, his name and everything, it's always just a funny joke that he's making, or the media that he's making. I think he's just a great pick here for Sarasota.
Yeah, his batch testing program that he's made is incredible. It's completely changed how some of the teams consider now.
Very good.
Coming into the draft, there's... Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
Okay, well, coming into the draft, I think it was very clear that the top cornerback was SLATE and Peter Patterson. There's obviously some corners who went above him, but I think he was our clear-cut number 1 at the position.
High praise. Alrighty, let's move on here now for the first pick for the New York Silverbacks, our other expansion team. They will be selecting Hank Winchester, user Time Consumer, from the New York GM. This pick was a no-brainer for us. As an expansion franchise, we knew we were going to be looking for a reliable piece, and Time Consumer is about as reliable as you can get around the ISFL. They took a gamble when they moved back to 13 that he would still be available, and it worked in their favor. He is user Hall of Fame. He's got one Hall of Fame player already and another one potentially in the making. And they're excited to bring aboard his future third.
Yeah, TC is an absolute league legend, and to get him this late, I don't think anyone thought he was going to be there. So I know Wolkers probably didn't think twice and put this pick in immediately.
Yeah, a couple seasons ago, I made a fake Madden, and I asked around the league, "Oh, who should I put on the cover of that, or what should I name the game?" And the answer was Time Consumer. It should name it after him just because of how involved he is. So this is just a no-brainer pick for Wolkers to make here, and a great one at that.
Absolutely. Alrighty, this will bring us to our last pick of the first round. Again, for the San Jose SaberCats, they will be selecting Rich Triplet, user Katasa. I've seen Katasa mostly around in the wiki server, I believe.
I
work over there.
love Katasa in Tijuana. He's such a cool guy. We just voted him for one of our captains, and he does a lot of work with us, and he helps a lot of our newer users too. So he's a really good influence in there, and he will definitely be a really good user and presence in the SJS locker room. So
I also loved Katasa. I really thought that he was going to slip out into the second round for us to pick up. Unfortunately, he didn't, but fortunate for San Jose, he fell to him. I think Katasa is one of the best DB prospects in this draft, and just overall a great individual.
Very good. Alrighty, what a talentful first round here.
There's definitely more first round talent than there are first round picks.
Indeed, there is. All right, let's jump into round 2 then.
All right, with the first pick of round 2, Yellow Faith select JAXON McJimmerson.
Great name.
Excellent. Excellent under as well. He was just such a funny guy. We'd love him around the locker room. He makes some of the best reaction gifs in the league. And just all on presence again. Won't necessarily be staying at tight end for us, but he was happy to go anywhere, and just we love this guy, and we could have taken him with the second overall pick, but I think we'll talk about that a lot for most of these picks in the first half many rounds.
Yeah, Uber is fantastic. He's hilarious. My entire scouting conversation with him was just making jokes the entire time. I think he's a great personality and a fantastic earner.
Yeah, we were hoping he would fall to us.
Yeah, at the start of the second, we were like, definitely Uber. That guy.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to pick 16 for the Arizona Outlaws. They will select Chuck Roth, Z Eagle 1.
Fair rubs.
Arizona building up their wall.
Hell yeah.
Zeagle is someone that's pretty active in the Portland Discord, and I believe is one of their better War Room members, unless I have terrible memory. So definitely a good pick for them.
Very good.
Now, what was the trade that Arizona got to move up there?
Let's see. They would have traded with Berlin.
Yeah.
The Buenato Blank and the linebacker that I'm not remembering the name of.
Oh, that's right.
There's a trade for him. If you're curious, you can check after the stream. We'll storm on for our next pick here.
All right, so Philly's back on the clock here, and we went and took Killian Char, wide receiver. Killian Chambers, wide receiver. Great guy. I love this guy. I think he's fantastic. And my War Room also agrees with that. When we saw him here available, we immediately had to scoop him up. Personality alone is good enough for us. And then you add in the TBE that he's earning at, the rate that he's earning at. It just was a no-brainer to us to take him here. We lost one of our wide receivers in expansion, and Nacho, our top wide receiver, retired this past season, so we thought we'd get his replacement right here.
Kind of sucks that
Makes
Among Us,
sense.
though.
I
No,
can
he's
say I was
fantastic
really,
among us.
I was really impressed with Charlotte's mock draft he did today. The way he was thinking, it was like a GM would, and I think he's got a big future in this league.
Very good. All right, this will bring us on to pick 18 for the Baltimore Hawks. They will be selecting Tony YEBOAH. YEBOAH? I don't know.
How do you pronounce that?
YEBOAH.
User FRAZZLE14. Great locker room presence and fits a need with Walt Green getting older. There are big shoes to fill there, but they definitely feel that he's the one who can get there and be the next Hawks safety in line. So always good to have your future planned out here. So excellent addition here for the Hawks.
Yeah, pretty much whenever I hop into the Kansas City Discord, I see him in there with he has his own little emote in there. It's just a YEBOAH face, and it's very scary. But he's a really cool guy.
That's so cute. I love when people have their own like emojis. It makes me so happy. Alrighty. So move us into pick 19 for the Silverbacks. They will be selecting a trade. New Orleans is going to be receiving Yellowknife's round 2 this draft, which is pick 19, this pick. And New York is receiving NOLA's round 2 and round 6 for this draft.
This is the first trade of the draft, right?
Yes.
Which
The
the
first
trade
of-
drafting pick 19 is ridiculous.
Yep.
I mean,
all right.
first trade after the draft started.
Yes.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure the Colorado
first-
trade was actually during the draft, but was posted.
Yes, because it didn't impact anything huge in the draft, so we gave people the information. But yeah, now that the pick is Nolas, let's find out who New Orleans is taking here. And it is Adam Melott, Guitar Master. JPOG, I feel like you have things to say about Guitar Master, yeah?
Yeah, sure. I love him in Tijuana. He is going to sim test for Tijuana next season now that I'm a simmer and Tanzi's a sim head. But he just does so much work. He's such a great presence in the locker room. He was the offensive captain that we voted in this past season, and he's just put in tons of work, and he is just an overall great guy to be around. He's looking to be a GM, and he thinks like a GM too, so it's really nice to see that from newer users.
That is very awesome. And yeah, that is 4th O-line in the first 20. So, like I said, it's the era of O-line. We're here. It's happening.
Yeah,
very
that's great for us teams that wanted to wait on O linemen.
Feel
Yeah.
you.
Indeed. Alrighty. This will bring us to 20, our first pick for the Austin Copperheads. They will be selecting a trade. Orange County will be receiving the pick, while Austin receives pick 25 and pick 81, rounds 2 and 6 respectively for this draft.
And these are the exact same trades. Like, there's one pick difference in each of them. And that makes me happy.
Yes, indeed. Alrighty, so now that it is Orange County's pick.
And with the 20th pick, we select Richard Leaking from user Reverend O'Reilly. I'm having issues talking.
You just need all the revs, don't you?
Yes, we need all of the revs. We also have Revolution 5. Now we have Reverend O'Reilly. I know Rev from playing Among Us with him a few times. Dallas, I believe, was scouted by Jeff, so I didn't have an in-depth conversation with him. But every time that I've been talking with him in the Among Us server, he's been really awesome to hang out with.
Yeah, Rev is an incredible prospect. I know him from Dallas, and he really could have been a first-round pick. He's that active. He's that useful in the locker room. He just joined the war room over there in Dallas. He's going to be a star in this league for a long time.
Yeah,
So
we actually thought about trading up before that to pick him up. And I think that like 2 people in this chat right now messaged me immediately after he was picked being angry with me.
Yeah, I was one of those people. I hated this trade and this pick because I love Dick Leaking. I think he's a fantastic user. I think Rev's fantastic. He's one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I think whenever we play Among Us together, we always hang out together. He's like my Among Us buddy. And I think he's fantastic. I really thought he was going to fall to the third round, but when I saw OCO trade up, I immediately knew who Laser was going for and immediately sent him a message afterward, like, come on, man.
Yep.
He wasn't falling to the third round because we were gonna pick him if he fell to us.
Makes sense.
We had trades up, but they weren't better than what you all could offer, and we just hoping that he would fall, and then you all snatched him there. Felt really sad.
It happens. All right, let's move on here. Okay, Gucci.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention for a second. So this is our GM pick. With 21, we take Davril Levine, and he is my co-GM, Raven. We're happy that we could get one of the top players overall in this draft here in the second round. Definitely the top safety as it comes from TP and stuff. He's been around this league since day one. He's a great influence on everyone in our locker room, and we're glad to get him back here.
Major reach.
Yeah, definitely a bust. Bust in the making.
I love Raven. He's one of my favorite humans. I don't get to talk to him as much anymore because I'm just so busy, but he always makes me smile when I see him around. So, very good. This will move us on to pick 22 for the Outlaws. They will be selecting Vance Slattery, user Punter 715.
Every
What
time
is
I see
this
his render, I laugh.
Great
Every
render.
single time I see it, I
Great
laugh.
render.
Oh wow.
I have no words.
Such a good render.
Oh man.
This guy was someone else that we wanted that we were hoping would fall to us, but didn't. He put a ton of articles out about his fellow prospects, like a positional ranking thing, and it was super fun to read. He's really hoping he would fall to us, but didn't. He's gonna be a really good player in the league.
Yeah, definitely one of the top defensive tackles in this draft, and Arizona gets a really good value pick here. Not even in the top 20.
Very good. Alrighty, back to Honolulu.
All right, and for this one, we're going to go with linebacker Rusty Rucker from Norfolk. This is user Lance Jack. I know he's good friends with Ask Madden, who went 4th overall in the draft. And I've spoken to him. He was telling me stories about how he's been printing out business cards and going around and leaving them on the doorstep of his friends who are also in this league. And I hope he's up watching right now. I'm about to send him an invite to the locker room, so
He is.
we were really excited to get him here.
Yeah, I always love my Seawolves. And Lance Jack is one of the few people who, like, I was in the NOLA war room going like, hey, if he's still available, this person, hey, if he's still available, him. And unfortunately he didn't fall far enough for us to get him, but I adore him. So I hope he does great things for you over in Honolulu. Perfect. We'll move on here then. Our next pick is for the New York Silverbacks. They're going to be selecting Duxburg Quackstack, their GM pick.
Reach.
Yeah, no secret that this is Walker's favorite user in the league. And they're very excited to be working together on the expansion team project that is New York. Walker would have made this pick 1st overall if he had to, no questions asked. So I love Westy. He is my teammate now in PBE as well, so I get to spend more time with him. And he and I have been cranking away at counting in the New York server. It's been a great time. So, alrighty, we'll move on here then at 25. This is the Austin Copperhead pick now for this round. They will be selecting their GM pick. Jackie Daytona, user Moody99. Moody is lovely. I'm lucky enough to be the Austin team liaison for head office, so I get to talk to Moody pretty frequently, and he's always a delight. So anyone who's going to Austin this draft, please know that your GMs are amazing, and Moody specifically makes my day on like a weekly basis.
Reach.
Moody is awesome.
Yeah, I
Should
love
have fallen
this
further.
render too. With the cowboy hat and the little Austin logo on it, it's perfect.
It is really good. I always love seeing how they approach the kind of less conventional renders. So, very good.
Hey, this is my team. We picked Play Stallworth, the ESFL Offensive Lineman of the Year, and another KC guy. And while I didn't personally scout him, Sacro did, and it had a great conversation. And with the run on O-line, we really needed to pick one because we have 0, or I think 1. And I'm really happy that we were able to get him.
Yeah, it is wild how much offensive line talent was in this draft, and I think it's really good for the league as a whole. So I'm happy to see these guys going in the top 2 rounds.
Very good. Alrighty. So move us on to pick 27 for the Yeti. They will be selecting another shocker here. Their GM pick, Frick Nasty, tight end Dave Batista. Extremely happy to be welcoming Frick back. Looking forward to his second Hall of Fame career, now with more wrestling from Sil. Frick has been someone that I have seen since I joined the league. He's been a pretty big figure. Used to be DSFL Simmer, and then GM, and he's just an amazing dude. So
Used to be HO too, I think.
yeah, that was slightly before our time, but yeah.
I can say Frick joined the league the same day as I did, almost 2 years ago now, and he, since day one, has been just a great league member. His contributions are immense, and I mean, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So really, just crazy you can get him here at the end of the second.
Indeed, indeed. That's the magic of GM picks, babe.
Yep.
They're great. All right, let's move on to our last pick of round 2. At 28, the San Jose Sabercats will select XMUS Flaxen JAXON-WAXON, Connor M123, another one of my beloved Seawolves. He is also now on the sim team, which is super exciting. So he's going to get a little bit of extra income. He's just a joy to be around. I think he's really funny, and I think San Jose's got an excellent presence for their locker room in this pick.
Yeah, we were really sad when he went at 28 because we were definitely looking to pick him up. It's a great conversation with Connor. Seems like a really top guy.
Great name for just a great personality. Really incorporates the name into who he is as a user.
Absolutely. Alrighty, let's move on here to round 3. The first pick of round 3 for the Berlin Fire Salamanders will be a trade. Berlin is receiving Chicago's round 3 for this draft, Colorado's round 5 for this draft, which is pick 69, and Colorado's season 26 round 2. In return, Colorado's receiving this pick. Now that it's a Colorado pick, let's see who they're taking. And it is National Simulation Football League user SD Core. From Sil, steal in all caps with 14 million E's. After scouting him, they fully expected him to go in the first round. They listed him as the 5th best user in the class and were prepared to take him had they been able to trade back into the first. To be able to get him in the 3rd round is ridiculous to them, and they're excited to be welcoming him to Colorado. I love SD. He's a member of head office alongside me. He's also the commissioner over in the SHL. He was my minor leagues GM in the PBE. He just lives and breathes sim leagues, and he is such a stellar person. And I am very jealous that Colorado's taking him home tonight.
Also the best name in the draft.
Yes.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Best render
The
as well.
lives on through SD.
Shades of Baxter Frost.
Yes, we've been hiding the draft results from SD. Even though SD is head office, we blocked him out of all the draft channels and so he could have an unspoiled experience. So I hope the wait was worth it, SD, if you're watching. Very good. We'll move on here.
Right, with the 30th overall pick, we'll select Jameson Vermillion, Vein Knights. And yeah, another great user here. If we'd lost a running back in expansion, we're considering taking him much earlier. So love that he fell this far to us. Running back isn't as much of a need now, but with Hanyard getting a bit older on his last sort of legs, need another one soon. Or he's possibly flexing around as well. Just a really eager prospect. Loved him in the locker room, and yeah, it's a great pickup here. Third round, yeah, this is another great pick.
All right, with the next pick, Philly comes back on the clock, and we take Jimmy DeSoto, linebacker from the Norfolk Seawolves. Great user, great guy. Needed a position of need that we really needed on our team. With some of our linebackers unfortunately going IA or semi-IA throughout the season. So making sure to get that piece that we needed. And he's a very great earner. His TPE isn't as high as others, but he did join a bit later. And we have one of Norfolk's GMs in our war room, Joeb, and he just had so many nice things to say about DeSoto. And we thought that he'd be a great pick right here.
Absolutely. Jimmy has been helping us a lot with scouting too. So if you chat with him in the future, he's going to be a great resource for the 26th season draft. So I love him. I think it's an excellent pickup. This will move us on to 32 for the Chicago Butchers. They will be selecting Damian Blackfire, user Thunder Titan 62.
Yeah, this is a really great pick because this guy was a waiver pickup in the DSFL and has a massive bank account with all the graphics he's been making. And definitely gonna be a really good pick, especially in the future for them.
Very good.
Back to us again at 33. You'll have to select Donald McBobby, BJ Bren. Another great guy. Great name. Yeah, he's a GM over in PBE and a little bit quiet over here currently, but that's why he was the only reason he was on the board because he was such a Mac Turner. We liked his scouting conversations, and yeah, he's this guy looking to become a lifelong great, so definitely want to pick him up here.
Yeah, he's another one that came pretty highly recommended from some of our trusted PBE users, so we had our eye on him as well.
This is one of those drafts. It's just so deep on defense that a player who's been basically max earning like him could drop to the third round and be an absolute steal for Yellowknife this year. So, great pick.
Yeah, we're still on first round potential for all these picks in any other draft, but such steal in the third.
Alrighty.
Well, that takes us back to Philly. We decided to go and boost our D-line here, and we grab HONKY-TONK Haywood from Portland. When I scout, I like to reach out to some of the GMs and ask them who they think are their top potential, but also some guys that they think might slip through and fall a bit. And QS, the former GM of Portland, just talked so much about HONKY-TONK to the point where I loved HONKY-TONK. Quest also reached out to me and said, if you don't pick him before the third round, you're an idiot. And so when I saw that he was available here, I immediately grabbed him, and I think he's going to be fantastic on our D-line.
I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit devastated when you guys took him here because I went to the University of Tennessee and he had this great render with a UT player that caught my eye before the DSFL draft last year. And I was in the Dallas war room, like banging my hands on the table, telling them to like pick this guy, and they just ignored me. But it was my goal to get him this year. So I was just devastated we weren't able to get him.
Alrighty, this will bring us to 35 for the Butchers. They will select Wes Robbie Gleal, user Crodyman.
He's someone that I've seen in the Minnesota locker room fairly frequently, and he's just. I think he's gonna be a really good pick. I think he did an article recently. I could be wrong on that, but another Minnesota player to Chicago.
Yeah, It's a very solid pattern for them. Minnesota produces some great folks, so it just makes sense. This will bring us now to pick 36 for the Arizona Outlaws. They will be selecting Lugazi Perfect, Y2 Bobman.
Yeah, I can say this is just an incredibly deep linebacker class. This is another guy we talked to, and we were really impressed with him and thought, we were looking at him as maybe a second-round pick, and for him to drop here to the lower half of the third round, it's just another great value pick by Arizona here.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Let's see, that'll put us at 37 for the Fire Salamanders. They will be selecting Ananda Adyan, user Timosura. This is another one of our Seawolves, and also another member of our sim team. He is one of our stream graphics people that we've hired this season. I think he's great. He's been such a phenomenal presence over in the NORFOK locker room, so I'm excited to see him go off to Berlin and help kind of establish their locker room culture as well.
I definitely remember. Yeah, we were impressed with him all season, and he was definitely high on our board this year as well. So I guess that leads me right into 38. For pick 38, we went back to Dallas and took safety Lionel Rumper. And I hope he made it up. I know he said he didn't expect to be awake by the time, or still awake by the time he got picked. But he's another guy. You might know him from Twitter. He does the excellent little limericks or raps, whatever. I don't know what they're calling them, but it's great. And we're really happy to have him on our team. I know he's a good friend with our second-round pick, Lance Jack. So we're happy to get him in there, and hopefully they can keep each other going in our locker room.
Very good. All righty.
And now it's back to us. We have back-to-back picks this time with 39 and 40. So we'll go ahead and do 39, and we will take Owen Holloway, Speculadora. We're bringing an old boy home. We were expecting him to be going to the first two rounds, and then when he wasn't, we had to seriously think about whether or not we could give him the stats that he was after, and we eventually decided that even if we couldn't give him the stats that he wanted, it was better to just go ahead and take him, and then we could trade him to somebody where he could get the stats, or we could let him walk in free agency, whatever he needed to do. So we're very happy to have him back on the team with us.
Yeah, it's great to see, a real student of the game going here in the third round. And then hopefully he does good things for you.
Yeah, I know he will. And then at 40, we have Bronco Mills, user Peyton M34. And Peyton was a OL/DE for NOLA for a long time, and I'm fairly certain he had another one or two players before that. So he's been in the league for a very long time, and he's going to be reliable. He's going to be a user that we can get along with. Spec told us that if he did come back to Oko, he wanted Peyton there as well. So we picked him up there, and his situation is perfect for us.
Very good. Alrighty. Here at 41 for the New York Silverbacks, they will be selecting Bob Roberts, user Zane ZK. Zane has been making himself comfortable in the GM's DMs since the day that they sent out formal scouting. And at this point of the draft, it was too difficult to ignore that he was still on the board. They had given him the rough estimate that he would go middle of the fourth, and then he talked himself up to going late third here for them. So he's going to bring a ton of energy to their locker room, and they're excited to have a foundation piece for the franchise. Perfect. Alrighty. This will bring us to our final pick of round 3 for the Sabercats. They will be selecting Zach Crossley, AJ Tigger. This is another user that I'm not super familiar with on a personal basis. But I am excited to see all the wonderful wide receiver talent that's out here in this draft as well.
Right, 43, start of the fourth. This pick will be selecting Mark Walker, that lunatic from Tijuana. With the expansion draft, we lost our second wide receiver, so going into this season, there's only one wide receiver, so we definitely looked to pick another one. And then, yeah, Mark Walker is just a great guy to pick up here. I know Myth's going to be really sad to lose him in Tijuana because he's looking to keep him as great wide receiver one, great earning, just top guy. So, yeah, we really have to pick him up here.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Alrighty, this will move us to 44 for the Outlaws. They will select Darren Pama, user Star Wars, but with Z's. Very fun. Another running back here off the board.
Yeah, to get a player like him, I know he writes great media. To get someone like him this late is just such a steal. And Arizona, I think, has done a great job in this draft in every round.
Yeah, they really have.
All right, that leads us back to Philly at number 45. We took Sam Roez here, D-end. However, he is willing to move around for us to whatever position we need him at. Just an overall great guy, super friendly when he peeks into the locker room, super nice, super kind, and then also a great earner. Just trying his best to be the max earner that he can be and still be around the league. So we thought that we would go Roez here.
Very good. Another Seawolf that I adore. This will bring us to 46 for the Hawks. They will select Gary Goodman, user Schnarly Dude. I love that name on both accounts. Let's see. They were only ever missing one spot on the linebackers that Dured filled up, but it's better to have more good players in high impact positions. So they're happy to call him one of their steals. And they're really happy to have him as a part of the Hawks defense.
Yeah, I was super surprised that he fell this far in the draft. I thought he would go way earlier in the draft, but I guess a really deep linebacker class will do that to you.
That it will.
Great gifts again. He just started making the other day. Some of those are fantastic.
Alrighty.
With pick 47, we'll be selecting Sheed the Boar, Nutbars Patch. This is another one of Aspan friends, another one of the Scottish guys. And yeah, we're losing Christus to retirement this season. We needed a defensive tackle again, and yeah, just another super solid guy here for us. Didn't have Discord going into last season, so he was a bit further down the DSFL draft, but we were really happy to pick him up here. 210 DP already. Going to be a great contributor on the D-line. So, yeah, great pick.
Very good. Alrighty, this will move us to pick 48 for the Copperheads. They will select Ben Alexander Arnold, user Ben. Ben is another one former NOLA player that I'm excited to see on to exciting new opportunities.
One thing I can say is Austin did not have a lot of picks in this draft, but with the picks that they do have, they do such a good job of getting really high quality players for basically the draft capital they do have. So prepare to be even more impressed than landing Ben in the middle of the 4th round.
Mm-hmm. Again, it just goes to show how insane this draft is. There are a lot of great talent's already gone, but there's still a lot of great talent out there to be had if you're looking for it. So, yeah, very excited for Austin and for Ben. So moves on to another Honolulu pick.
Okay, so for this pick, we decided to take someone. I know I can see him in here commenting in the chat, but we went with Alex Reed, the receiver from Myrtle Beach. This was my season 15 teammate, Nylor the Phoenix. I've known him for a really long time. He's a great earner. This is his recreate from a borderline Hall of Fame player. He had just had an awesome career with his last player, and I was really excited to even get the chance to draft him here. So we had Frost in our DMs asking us to trade up and stuff, and we went with our pick here.
Makes sense. This was my DSFL GM when I first got started in the league. So awesome,
Yep,
dude.
a Norfolk guy.
Heck yeah. All right, this will move us to not back to back. Those are just very red. First pick here for the Outlaws will be James Hoffman, user Kingslayer.
I'm a Myrtle Beach guy, so he's been a super good locker room presence for us, and this is one of the better steals of the draft, I would think. I was super surprised that he fell this far, because he's been super amazing in Myrtle Beach this season.
I'm not even a big Myrtle Beach guy, and I can tell this is a huge steal. Kingslayer is just great from what I've seen around him around the league. And so Arizona, once again, takes another great piece for their team.
Indeed. All right, let's move on here then. Our next pick is for the Butchers. At 51, they will select a trade. Yellowknife receiving Blago Coat, and Sarasota receiving the pick. We have both of you here. Can you talk us through what happened with this trade?
So we had this trade set up in place before this pick was even on the clock, because Yellowknife's kicker got taken in expansion. We had a backup kicker that was young and active. It really made sense for.
We got to give Coco a starting role, really excited to get him on the team as our new kicker, with Dougie being taken in expansion.
But also, this trade doesn't relate to this pick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's just in here because Anyway, onward to the actual selection here at 51 for the Butchers will be.
But this trade relates to the pick.
Sarasota is receiving the pick, and Chicago is receiving Sarasota's round 4 and Yellowknife's round 6.
All right, so Gucci said earlier we were trying to trade up here. We were trying to trade up for the player that we ended up taking here, and that player is Clegg Manclaw, Sinoblaze. He is someone in Minnesota that has just been super good in there. I think he's their intern, which is basically the assistant GM. And I've been playing in the Among Us server with him, and he's been a super awesome guy to talk to, and I think he's going to be a really good replacement for Clark Boyd that we lost in expansion.
So Sinoblaze is fantastic. I remember one night it was like super late. It was just me, him, and I think like someone else, and we literally just did his scouting in the Among Us server, because he was like, "Hey, why don't you just scout me right here?" And I was like, "All right, why not?" And I just asked him the questions I usually ask, and I think he's fantastic. I think he could have gone a bit higher. His TPE is a little bit lower than the rest around him, but he is just a fantastic earner and a fantastic presence. I think Sarasota gets a great piece right here.
Very true. Alrighty. Let's move on here now to pick 52 for New Orleans. They will select Mike Crotchburns, Schoolboy Shoe. I know he's been in the chat and he's been waiting to see when he's going to go. You're ours, Shoe. With TH and I both getting on in our years, we're looking for our running backs of the future, and we're excited to welcome you on board as one of them. So, congratulations. Welcome to the Purple team. We're excited to have you.
I'm just happy that it's back to normal NOLA where a running back's being taken.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love this guy, and so I knew that we were going to need a running back, so as we were looking at who was left and who we wanted, I was like, hey, I know him, because he's a PME dude, and he's super friendly and nice, so I'm very excited to get a good dude for us. So, you're going to get to run behind me at some point for a little bit before I die, so looking forward to it. Very good. This will move us on to pick 53 for the Silverbacks. They will select Harley Fank, user Bebop. Wide receivers are starting to go off the board here, so they were looking for who they wanted to take. Decided to take a shot on Harley Fank. Their receiving core was already young and strong coming into the pick, and so they felt that Bebop was the right fit as the finishing touch. Excited to get him in the locker room and see what he can do on the field. Very good. So move us to another Butcher's pick here at 54, their actual pick for this round. They will select Timmy Dimby, user Tyler. This render image is beautiful. This is someone who I believe is an SHL dude who came in kind of after the season start and has been doing media and putting his name out there. So excited to see him off to Chicago. Very good. So bring us to the Colorado pick at 55. They will select Angelo Cirilli, user Angelosi. This is someone who really impressed the scouts over in Colorado. Defensive tackle was a big position of need for us, so they're excited to be giving Angelo the opportunity to come in and compete to be their big boy of the future. Combined with their first pick in this draft, they're looking thick. I love Sill's notes. I love his writing style. It amuses me immensely. That's some beautiful yellow on that Colorado uniform right there. That is some beautiful yellow.
Bad.
What do you mean?
love
Yellow is one of their colors.
It's one of their colors. It's absolutely one of their colors. I love yellow on the Yeti, and so don't let Infinite tell you that you're wrong or bad for doing that. I think it's a beautiful choice.
This is why I'm leaving head office.
It's in their logo, like the yellow circle.
Yes, indeed. Alrighty, this will bring us to pick 56 for the Silverbacks, and let's see who they're selecting here. Brick Van Sanzo, user Snazzlepuss22. Woker wanted to go a different direction for this pick, but the War Room kind of talked him into waiting for another couple picks to grab the defensive lineman here. Yeah, their biggest weakness right now that they're thinking of is the age of their defensive line, so they wanted to invest in some young talent. And they're getting to bring aboard another member of the San Antonio/Minnesota family, and that's a thing that Woker is a complete sucker for. So a pick that makes sense for them, I think. Very good. Now here at the top of round 5, gosh, still so many great people available in this draft here. At 57 for the Berlin Fire Salamanders, they will select Leroy Lankins. I can't read. Lewis Melville. It's late. I'm trying my best.
You were so proud for that too.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna give it the justice that it deserves, and then I died. Tell me about this pick, guys.
I haven't really talked to him a ton, but I do see him a little bit in the Minnesota chat, and I think he's probably, I don't know why he doesn't have any stats on that sheet there. That's kind of weird. But he is someone I think will be a very good pick for them. But yes.
Very good. Excellent. All right, at 58 for New York, they will select Mark Hamill, user LaSpoils. This is who Woker wanted to go with at 56, but the rest of the room felt like you can probably wait. Fortunately, they still got the guy that they wanted, and they couldn't be happier to be laying the foundation for the future there for their offensive line. LaSpoils is an SHL user, and they tend to believe in multi-league users quite strongly because they are fairly reliable in most circumstances. So feeling very comfortable with this pick, and they hope that he's very comfortable in New York. I also like Woker's notes. They're very cute. But yeah, congratulations, LaSpoils. Enjoy your time in the Big Apple. All right,
so it's back to Philly here. We decided to go with our special teams here and take Jake Fensick, Xenos the Legend. I love Xenos. My conversation with him was fantastic. I caught him while he was playing League of Legends, and so he had to finish his game, and he told me that he won, so I was very proud of him there. But also, so we had to replace our kicker because unfortunately our kicker went in expansion. Simo, who's a great guy, and Xenos was fantastic. I remember this was one of the late night picks, and before I'd even gone to I was going to go to bed and pick him in the morning. And I had told my entire war room Xenos no matter what, just because I think that he is fantastic and a great earner, and just overall a great guy. And I'm glad to have him on Liberty.
Very good.
That's that among us, so.
Alrighty.
He doesn't.
That is the second Liberty kicker taken in 2 expansions.
Liberty and losing
Stop
kickers.
it.
Name a more iconic duo.
We are
The fourth
cursed in
one like
expansion with doing
6
that.
seasons.
I hope that next expansion you lose 2 kickers. I don't know how it'll work, but I hope that happens because it'll be really
Why is
funny.
the GM, why is the commissioner of the league targeting Philly right now? Hang on.
Haven't you heard the stories? I hate Philly.
Yeah, I can tell.
This is a lie because all my Norfolk kiddos go over to Philly, and then I have to love you. It's a curse. Anyway, we'll move on here to pick 60 for the Copperheads. They will be selecting Connor Quigley, user Whatamus.
So this guy got in the league. I think he was in the league earlier, but didn't really get super active until recently. But I think he was one of the last offensive linemen left here. So, and for Copperheads who don't have a ton of quality offensive linemen, getting him is gonna really help their wall.
Yeah, the second half of the season he's been back to sort of max active after missing the first half of the season, so it's a really good pickup. 9-5 for them.
Alrighty.
Pick 61, Yellowknife selects Milkman, BK Football, the Dallas BIRDDOGS. Yeah, we're really excited to get a high performance safety here, but safety is another position we might need in a season or 2, so getting a guy like Milkman here is great for us. Seems like a solid guy all around. Fly spoke to him, not me, but yeah, we're really happy with him here.
Very good.
It's just the fact that you can get a person above 200 TPE in round 5.
In round 5, I'm trying to go 40.
In this draft class
well, it's crazy.
This draft is nuts. Anyway, we'll move on to 62 for Arizona. They will be selecting Mason Gillian, user Emperor. Anyway, another user that I'm not super familiar with because Tijuana is kind of a mystery to me in plenty of circumstances. But looking like he's earning, so if he can keep on track, it'll be a great pick here for Arizona.
And I want to say he posted a media article recently, so extra money.
Hell yeah. We do love earning money. Alrighty, we'll move on here to our next pick because I know the person's been waiting very patiently. Here at 63, New Orleans will select Adam Spencer. I love Adam. I was sitting there waiting to see who was going to take him. I know that he has some desires for this career, and so I think some teams were a little bit nervous about that, but we kind of took stock and realized, we can probably make this work for him. So decided to draft him. I thoroughly love that he's just embraced that this is me. This is my time. So it's he's named his player after himself. That is him in the render image. I love Adam a lot. He and I have been teammates in PBE on 2 different teams. We're teammates in the Super Casual League. We have yet to be teammates in the ISFL, so I'm excited that gets to happen now. Cool. Alrighty, this will move us on to 64, another Outlaws pick here. They will select Teriyaki, user Doom Raider. That's a phenomenal name choice.
It really is.
I was worried for a second because I know last stream there was a time where I couldn't hear anyone else, so I just wanted to make sure that wasn't happening.
No, yeah, it's Doom. I think was someone that London picked somewhat late in the draft and started earning again pretty late. So his TPE is probably a little bit off what he should earn this season at least.
Indeed. Alrighty, this will bring us to 65 for the Butchers. They will select Mark Callis, user McCranksky. Such a choice render right here.
Renders just in this class are really just super good.
Indeed. And another user here in the 5th round with over 200 TPE.
I believe he was on vacation for the last couple of days, maybe weeks. So he wasn't able to be as active recently. So that's probably the main reason why he fell, but he's going to return to being a max earner. And probably a pretty good pick for them. Their 10th wide receiver.
A good replacement for Sean O'Leary that's there. So just being able to replace him with someone who's just as good of an earner, in my opinion.
Very good. Alrighty, we got a lot of fishy picks here.
3 in a row. The first pick that we pick is Dexter Jackson, linebacker. He's formerly Action Jackson, who had a really solid career. Just you know, super happy that we could get a really good recreate this late in the draft. Even though his TP only one.
Yelled live in the locker room when we had him for a season, so yeah.
Yeah, really, he has been for Myrtle Beach as well. And even though he's only 130 TPE, I know that he's gonna easily rise up in TPE. And then our next pick is another Myrtle Beach guy. I definitely don't know how to pronounce the name of, but it's Hetty Uderstruzen. Hetty Ujo. He's probably one of the best steals of the DSFL class. He's been amazing for the Myrtle Beach locker room. And yeah, it's just a super good pick. I think it's gonna be a steal and gonna end up being our replacement for Beat, who's gonna regress soon. And yeah, I think super good locker room presence as well. Happy to get him. And then our next pick here is Stephen Wadham, Arvid safety from London. One ABH, the London GM, is in our war room and really recommended us getting Arvid here, and the render there is fantastic as well.
Oh, I love the pocket detailing is so beautiful.
Yeah, it was just we had these 3 guys in mind for our triple pick, and happy that they fell to us, so we were able to get them.
Very good. Alrighty, here at pick 69 for the Fire Salamanders, they will select. Come on, ski up. User air crew. Again, more insane talent here at the bottom of the 5th. That render is great.
I'm very surprised that he fell this far, but I think he'll be very pleased we picked at this pick.
Yeah, I mean, getting to go help establish the culture of a brand new team is always a really exciting opportunity. So.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice pick that they got here. And Berlin is just happy to be able to pick him up here.
Very good. Alrighty. Our very final pick of the 5th round here at pick 70 for the Butchers will be Etrigan T. Slayer, user Thyath. I love hunting for where the logos are on the more abstract ones, and I love that it's his cloak clasp. That's beautiful. You're killing it, Moosey. Thank you so much for your work.
All of the draft graphics team have killed at this draft. It's been
I don't know how we got so lucky to have so many amazingly talented people who are willing to do silly art for us. Like, I love it so much. Congratulations, Zayeth, on going to Chicago. This will bring us to our top of round 6 for New York. They will select Buster Balls, Rido 29, Air D13. They've had their running back one since they traded for Ashley Owens. So they're looking to fill the fullback role here. This person is building a fullback, so perfect fit there for them. Yeah, and they're excited to have someone to help clear the way for Owens in this first season. Perfect. For pick 72 for the Salamanders, they will select Gavin Leclerc, user Gav of the London Royals. Very good. I like your last name, man. If you're watching, congratulations and excellent choice in names.
So at number 73, Philly's back on the clock, and we took Brent Silva, D-tackle, out of London. Just thought that this was a great pick. Good guy. We had a great conversation with him, and willing to move around as well. So we think this was a good pick for us to grab here.
Very good. All right, let's move us to 74 for the Colorado Yeti. They will select. Anders Christensen, still a name that I adore. Blues fan is well known to their locker room as a member of the SHL, and they're excited to add him to their roster. While they're stacked at the running back position currently, they hope that he'll provide some long-term potential for them as at the position moving forward.
We wanted to get him, but there was no way he was going to fall all the way to our pick.
Yeah. Alrighty, at pick 75, the Butchers are going to go ahead and select Dunkin' Donuts. You heard it here, folks. The city of Chicago runs on Dunkin'. I think I stole that joke from like the draft discussion chat, so I can't take full credit for it, but I did say it on air, so I can have partial credit.
Yeah, you get credit for the delivery.
Yes. At 76 here for the Copperheads, they're going to go ahead and select Owen Isaac. OJI 3001. A user I don't know, but I hope that he has a great time in Austin. Also, the Austin colors are looking so nice. Ah, love it. All right. Gucci, are you still here?
I am, yeah. For pick 77, we go quarterback with Matt Peterson from Minnesota. So I think this guy is on the stream team now. He's someone I talked to a lot in the lead up to the draft. If he wants to stay at quarterback, that's great. He can be our quarterback of the future. If not, we're happy to try and work with him to find a spot for him elsewhere in our team. So we're really happy to get him here. He's a really nice guy. I enjoyed talking with him through the whole process, and we're happy to get him this late in the draft.
Makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, this will move us to 78 for the Salamanders. They will select Lebby Newton, user Newty. Another gray duck. Also, I really like the colors that Berlin has. I'm excited to see how they continue to differentiate themselves visually from the Hawks, but yeah. Very good. This will move us on to another Chicago pick at 79. They will select Clay Clark of the Kansas City Coyotes. Very good. Alrighty, this will move us to pick 80 for the Silverbacks. They will select Marlon Alexander, user PlatinoCat. It was sort of surprising for them to see PlatinoCat fall this far, given the level of activity that they've seen in Discord servers across the league. They weren't really thinking about another O-line, but at this point, activity value is gold, and so they had no question about who they would go for. Extremely happy to be bringing Alexander to the O-line unit that already includes Quayle and Hamill. Fair rubs are good. Walker, I definitely agree there.
Yeah, Platt is he's probably like 90, I don't say 90, like 50% of London's talking is just Platt is going away. Yeah, he's definitely going to be a really good locker room presence for the team.
Very good, very good. Alrighty, this moves to 81, another Copperhead pick here. They're going to select Leo Bloomfield, Bloomy GB. Again, look at those colors. They're great. Excited to see some more kickers around for sure.
So this guy is he's still active in talks a little bit in Myrtle Beach, but Austin lost Crisco to retirement, I believe, and Umi will be able to immediately replace him, and should end up being a pretty good pick.
Oh, okay. Frosty Boy.
Yes, this is my team. At 82, we picked Elijah Torres, also known as Toasty, who is a former Python GM as well as former Chicago GM. He's not really a ton of TPE right now, but we are hoping that he's going to come back and be a max earner again.
I don't know that Toasty will ever be a max earner for you again, but he's a great guy. He's just good to have in your locker room, and he's going to contribute positively to your team.
Fair. All right. Moving on here to 83 for the Colorado Yeti. They will select Jake Saxon, user good versus evil. Last time GBE played for the Yeti, or was on the Yeti roster, I should say, they won an Ultimus. So hopefully he can continue to be their good luck charm for a second run.
I haven't talked to GBE in forever, but he is amazing.
Yes, indeed. One of the season 18 originals. So, yeah.
Yep.
So move us on to our final pick of round 6. At 84, the San Jose Sabercats will select Maddie Martinson, user Slinny92. Yes, as we get into later rounds, we have slightly less to say if you haven't picked
We
up
always
on
need
that.
more Matthews in the league. So.
We always need, yes, absolutely true. Very, very true. Alrighty. Now we're entering round 7 here. At the top of round 7, at 85, the Fire Salamanders will select Caleb Judge, user the Blanket. 100 TPE, 77 tackles. Congratulations. This will move us on to this next pick for New York. They will select Joe Show, J Guy. The brief scouting conversations that they had with J Guy uncovered the fact that he'll be something between quasi-active and inactive for a chunk of time, but he left the door open for a possible return to the league, and specifically to Joe Show, this player. So they felt like the gamble was worth it at this point in the draft. If he sees this, they're happy to have him stashed away for a revenge tour. So, very exciting stuff.
All right. So with the next pick, we decided to go and look at our secondary for this one. We took Brian Nelson, user Ben Gross Close. BG is a wonderful guy, semi-active. We're trying to get him more involved in the league, but he's a great earner. Having with his activity, done some great earning himself, and we think he can really help us with our secondary this upcoming season.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to 88 for the Hawks. They will select Noah Akerley, or Akerley? I don't know how to say that, but it's Insight Hysteria. Let's see if I have any notes on this one. Very old user who hopefully will come back as a slot weapon or possibly a hole filler. Want to try and fill up some spots to make sure everyone doesn't doubt the future receiving weapons the Hawks have.
Yep, pick 89. We'll select Alexander Johnson, King Tag 1999. Yeah, this is a user that's been inactive a little bit recently, but he's from here on PBE as well. And he's been on the site a little bit the past couple of days, so we're hoping we're getting back active. Yeah, we're just good potential here, even though he's been active for a little bit.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to pick 90 for the Austin Copperheads. They will select Smitty McGee. I'm not even going to attempt to say that username, but
No word of a
line
late.
here. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. I'm guessing either low active or inactive, but still, if that comes back, you always have an extra O-line in your back pocket, so can't hurt.
So here for the 91st pick, we took cornerback Curtis Blackshear, from the Minnesota Gray Ducks, and Soviet's someone I talked to for Dallas in the lead up to the DSFL draft, but I didn't get a chance. I'm not sure if he's still on Discord or what the situation is now, but I know I liked him before the first draft, so maybe I can try and message him, get him back active.
Very good. Alrighty, this will bring us to 92 for the Outlaws. They will select Banana Bender. User D Neon. I do like this name, and this render
I
is
really
fun.
like how you pronounced it, Banana Bender.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
never caught that before.
I didn't get it last draft, and someone
Wow.
pointed it out to me after the fact, and I was like, "Oh, I'm an idiot." So I knew going into this draft that I had to watch out for Banana Bender because it was gonna happen, and so I'm glad that I didn't completely fail.
So this guy was actually a really good earner, but he left all Discords and quit the league just a month or so ago. But if he comes back, that's going to be really huge for them. Definitely worth a risky pick this late in the draft.
I think at this point in the draft, it's more of a safe pick. But yeah, I thought this was a good pick until I learned that he had left. If he does come back, Arizona probably has the steal of the draft right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, let's march on here. At 93 for the Butchers, they will select Crane Wibet. User Montague of the Kansas City Coyotes.
Yeah, another guy like that's been an actor for a little while, but came into DSFL draft really positive. So if they can get him back, they'll be a good pickup again.
Alrighty, so move us on to 94 for the second line. They will select Henry Grant. User Eggleton. Yeah, we get to the later parts of the draft, and it's kind of like, okay, are there any cool names? Are there any cool running backs? And we have a cool name here and a Seawolf here. So we were like, yep, can't go wrong with this one.
What a lovely belly he has there.
All right, with the 95th pick, Orange County will select Bulldog Wizard from user BJ Owns. This is a user that Jeff noticed somewhere in the middle of the 5th or 6th round, where we had a 3-round gap without a pick. That he had posted in a thread a few days ago, and so we knew that with his TPE we could get him pretty late. He hasn't applied any of it, but he's actually earned about 30. So we're hoping that we can get him, help him out with figuring out an update page, and
he
get him
applied
interested.
it Wednesday.
Oh, did he?
Yep,
That's
he's
very exciting.
83 TP.
Yeah, I think
Love to
I've
see
seen
it.
him in Dallas as well. So
Awesome.
Steal the draft,
That's
maybe.
good stuff. Yeah, it definitely
Hopefully so.
seems like it. I know that there was a couple of people who were concerned because there was a little bit of a debate. Because for those of you who aren't around, who haven't been around for very long, there's a rule that if you are inactive and have 57 TPE or below, you don't get to be drafted and you go into the ether forever. He is below 50 TPE, but he's not inactive, so he was draft eligible and could be taken by Orange County. So, little backstory there.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think Bulldog may have been the last active, but at 96 we picked Willie Weasel.
Good
Weasel
name.
Man himself.
yeah, quality name.
I want to say he's still in Minnesota locker room, but I don't think he's talked there in quite a bit of time. But he did earn 89 TPE, and we're hoping that we can get him back.
Indeed. Alrighty. Move on here to pick 97 for the Colorado Yeti. They will select Lucas Hinsitzen. SPK. Hooray!
Yay!
At 98 for the Sabercats, they will select TJ Evans, user Southie, Portland Pythons. Very good. We'll now enter round 8, lucky round 8, and lucky pick 99 for the Silverbacks will be Sorry and Tyler. Ryan Tyler. He's a PBE user. I think I have notes on him. Yeah. Well-known member of the PBE community. And though he has struggled to maintain interest in the ISFL, they decided at this point in the draft they would take a shot at convincing him to give the league another go. If they can draw him back in, this could be a huge win for them.
Yeah,
Ryan's
I was
one of
going to
my-
say, I won an Ultimus with him in Season 16. He was a very active user in our locker room and everything. If they can get him going again, this is the biggest steal of the draft.
For sure. He is my teammate over in PBE, so maybe I'll drop a word about his draft position here so he knows the good news. So, very good. This will bring us to pick 100 for the Berlin Fire Salamanders. They will select Bobby Hoffman, Impressive 23. Beautiful artwork here.
Intense stare.
Intense, indeed. Cool.
All right, so Philly's back on the pick with pick 101. We went tight end and took Flappin' Chick from user Flappin' Chick. Our tight end's getting a little bit older with Bloxdale, and so we wanted to get a guy who was, who could replace him if we can convince him to stay. And so we went with Chick here.
Tried to pick Flash Spider-Man, but it did not work out.
Yeah,
We did
I really
not
wanted
want
Flash Spider-Man, but HO, no fun league, that kind of situation. So
Yes, indeed. Alrighty, this will bring us to 102 for the Baltimore Hawks. They will select Tyrone Biggums. Works
It's
out.
a familiar name.
Indeed. A super familiar name.
Pick 103, we'll select Sterling Moss. Excellent Formula One driver. Hopefully we can get him to be a football player as well.
Beautiful. Alrighty. That'll move us to 104 for the Outlaws. They will select Dean McBean, user R². A name I enjoy.
Okay, for
do
pick
his refreshing.
105. For pick 105, we'd been waiting the whole draft to finally address our offensive line, and here we finally go with Hugh McGree, offensive lineman from Portland. We're really excited. Big body, we can throw him right out there. Start him next year, save some cap money.
Very good. Alrighty, another pick here for the Outlaws. They will select Dakota Grossman.
Woo.
Yes, indeed. At 107 for the Butchers, they will select the Brickshaw Minshew Sr.
It's a
Great
a
name.
great name.
That's the name. Kai, come back. Don't waste that name. Oh, beautiful. All right. At 108 for New Orleans, they will select Stephon Trummer. This is not a running back, so I'm immensely disappointed.
There were 2 Uber tight ends in this class, which I just find really funny.
yeah.
Good. All right.
And 109 here is us again. And we will take King Tutankhamun from Waldo. And Butters reached out to us after this pick. He was hoping he could get him later, and he offered to trade his Tyrone Biggums for King Tutankhamun, and so we went ahead and took that trade. So we will have 2 Tyrone Biggums, and Baltimore will have King Tutankhamun.
Makes sense to me. All right. This will bring us to a fishy pick.
Hey, that's me. Right now we picked Quavernomonics. Yes. Nauman Fletcher, he's a cornerback. I don't really know anything about him, and it was on a random pick, so hope he comes back, but
Cool.
doubt it.
All right. At 111, that's 111 for the Colorado Yeti. They will select Jack Burton, user Joe Cruel, a kicky boy here in the 8th round.
Gotta take a kicker every season.
You have to.
Kickers are players too.
Alrighty, and finally, at the end of this round that has a number, I'm sure. At 112, the San Jose Sabercats will select Bill Brasky, another Kiki boy. All the Kiki boys.
Woo.
All right, home stretch here at round 9. At 113, the Fire Salamanders will select Hank Antilles, user Turpentine out of Kansas City. 114 for New York, they will select Hank Sackner, Dirty Bird. This person is extremely inactive, but the username apparently called to Westy, so they grabbed Sackner. Hopefully he'll come back to us someday soon. Thank you for your enthusiasm, Walker. I appreciate you.
All right, and with the final pick, it is Philadelphia. We took Trent Blackburn, quarterback out of Myrtle Beach. Yeah, just need to have that backup for when Brock Phoenix eventually calls it quits, and so we went with Blackburn.
He's just gonna swap the defensive tackle. He's pretty good.
Honestly, yeah, make the jokes now. Haha, QBDT, funny. But he is not our Mr. Irrelevant pick. He is super relevant to us, and so we took Blackburn here, and that is it for the draft.
We did it.
That is very good. Congratulations to all of our draftees. If you think you should have been drafted and weren't, please contact me immediately. Otherwise, we wish you all the luck settling into your teams. If you have trouble connecting to your team for some reason, reach out to me. I'm Bex on the forums and on the Discord. I will help direct you to your GMs so you can continue your happy journey here in the ISFL. If you're interested in more from us, on Monday we will have a very special DSFL versus ISFL game where London will go head-to-head against Philadelphia. On Wednesday, we will have our Prospect Bowl for our Season 26 draftees. And then next Friday, a week from today, will be our exciting DSFL draft, where we can find out where our Season 26 kiddos are going to be spending their first season in the league. With that, I think I will say thank you once again. I hope you enjoy your next chapter in the league, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, this stream was brought to you by Dots.
Dots!
Good old